Mir Božji Hristo se rodi.
Vaistinu se rodi.
And now in English, Christ is born.
Glorify him.
Yes. Yes.
They don't say truly he is born. I was really surprised at that.
Yeah. I'm surprised as well. But yeah, it's fine. It's fine. You guys can have your thing.
Yeah. And we'll keep to the right thing.
Exactly. We'll observe Christmas on the right day. We will. There's a 13-day delay, right? It's a 13-day.
Yeah.
Difference between the two calendars, and we are obviously celebrating the right one. Everybody everywhere is telling me how you Serbs celebrate two Christmases. That's kind of true. The cases, it's kind of true, isn't it?
Not really, because I mean, if you're outside of Serbia.
Yep, that's what I was referring to. Yeah, not Serbs in Serbia, but Serbs in like diaspora.
Yeah, here December 25th is just a day.
Just another day. Yeah. But everybody freaks out when you tell them like our Christmas is on the 7th. Everybody's like,
"Wow, this is another level."
Well, okay. Really true.
Well, on December 25th we celebrate Saint Spiridon, so yay! I like Saint Spiridon.
Yeah, yeah, and very soon we will celebrate Saint Seraphim of Sarov.
Yeah.
Who has been already like observed in the Gregorian calendar.
So, Em, how did you spend your Christmas?
Exactly as one should. We went to early morning liturgy, 5 a.m. Perfect time for church service, might I add. We do that only on Christmas and Easter. And then we had a bit of a, we call this prayer breakfast, where we all kind of
don't pray.
No, we do.
Okay.
We do. Let me show you actually.
Okay.
Let me show you because
it's better involve food.
Yeah, I just don't want people to freak out because nobody's wearing a mask. But believe it or not, like we're all immune at this point in that particular.
Yeah. Yay.
How did they call that? COVID elites. Idiot. Still trying to find it. Yeah. So we were singing the Troparium. You see?
Oh, yeah.
You hear?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a bunch of people from church. We sing the Troparium. We pray, and then we finish the long fast.
Nice.
Together with a lot of mayo and meat and more meat and yogurt.
So is this breakfast open to everyone? I knew it.
No, B, it is. It's just
if
that
you're invited.
I frown because every time we do this, like there's a bunch of people who just don't bring anything to the table, and I frown a bit, but it's all good. It's Christmas. You can't, like, when it's Christmas or Easter, you really can't, like, you're celebrating life so much that there's no room for like petty things. Like only, afterwards I'm like, oh, those guys, but yeah, and then we went to, and this is becoming a tradition as well, then we went to our kids' godfather and godmother's place for coffee.
Nice.
And then we went home and spent Christmas basically.
Nice.
Home, and there was some good news which I'll update you on later, and it's all good. Christmas.
Excellent.
Christmas is perfect.
I like the Christmas Eve too, even though ours was, well, relatively uneventful. My personal tradition for Christmas Eve is to go
I
with
didn't
some.
even mention.
Hmm?
Sorry, I didn't want to interrupt you. I just said I didn't even like comment on the Christmas Eve because
Yeah.
I mean, where did you go? Did you go to like a
Oh, well,
service?
no, I had to work, so I couldn't go on any like Christmas Eve services. But usually in my home we have some festy supper, which is because nobody's really practicing in my family except me. It's sort of special,
It's
especially.
fish. Is it fish?
No. We usually make calamari and or mussels because we
It's
don't like fish.
on water. Yeah.
Not only that, but we hate fish.
Yeah. Same here. I mean, we talked about that so many times. Like if
Yeah.
you guys don't know by now that we hate fish, but calamari is a different thing, and
Yeah.
shrimp and stuff like that.
By the way, I'll give you my mom's recipe. She had it figured out how to make it perfectly soft.
No,
because
you should give me. I mean, not me. You should give it to my wife because we just kind of burned some calamari.
as in fried or burned.
Well,
Burned.
I don't really know. I mean, it didn't cook like it was okay.
Oh, okay.
It was okay. It wasn't like, oh Lord, calamari. Just let me. Am I right? So, shrimp versus calamari. Calamari in Serbian would be um,
Lignje.
lignje. Okay. And we were doing, I think, shrimp. Gambari? Is that shrimp?
Yeah.
That's shrimp. Yeah, we were doing
Yeah,
shrimp.
they're shrimp. I'm not a huge fan of shrimp. I mean, I'm fine, but I'm sort of lazy to deal with their shell, and at least with mussels, at least here you can easily buy frozen clean mussels, so it's easier. And my mom makes killer mussel risotto, and it's really great. So after that supper, I generally get together with some friends, and then we go to, for example, the cathedral or temple of Saint Sava. We light candles, and then we go to some cafe for some I don't know what's called, mulled wine. I think we call it
mulled wine.
we call it cooked wine here. But because it's extraordinarily risky to actually go into the crowd today, and because all of the cafes are closed, we simply skip that part, and it's sad. But
yeah, but I know the coffee shop you would go to if it's like adjacent to the.
Yeah.
I know where you would go. It's a good place, and the mulled wine is good there as well. I'm not having it for a long time now because of my new diet, but
yeah. So, and at least for this Christmas, there were, I would say, relatively a lot of people. And I know the church service was really nice. And the priests actually organized a banquet for everyone, and it was really great. And we basically had to do it in the church because it is a cemetery chapel. So we do not have any auxiliary rooms to actually do it in, so it had to be in the temple, which is fine. I mean, not really usual, at least in Serbia, but we had to do with what we had, and it was great. I had a friend over because he recently moved to Belgrade, and there I got to see my my godchild, Randy. He's an American. Hi, Randy, if you're watching this, and if you don't, why aren't you watching this?
We'll call you R.
Yeah, R. Well, we could have him in an episode. Why not? And
hey, this is a friends and family show.
Yeah. He recently got baptized. So basically, this is he got baptized near the beginning of the Advent Fest. So this was his first break fast, and afterwards we had a family feast, thank God most of us had and survived COVID. So
Thank
you know
God.
the works. Chesnitsa. Oh, by the way, we had a great.
How many? How many?
How many?
Yeah, there's a delay between us. There's a delay between us. I'll just let you finish and then I'll chime in.
Well, my sister had a great joke regarding my brother-in-law, because a month ago, or maybe even more, our brother-in-law was staying with us because he had COVID. And at one point I was making a Lenten pizza, and this was the first time I actually baked something. So, I made the dough, I put tomato sauce on it, and a lot of garlic, and chopped olives. And I asked him, do you want some? And he's like, no, thank you. And then he kept complaining for days on end, because he could smell garlic all across his room, because his room was rather close to the kitchen. Because he was staying with mom and me, and my dad went to my sister's in order to help her care with her kids and so on, and with isolation. And so again, he started to complain about that garlic smell, which was like a month ago. And suddenly my sister goes, "You had COVID. How could you smell it?" and mom and I, "You liar! You didn't have COVID. You went to a 2-week paid leave with
Complain.
Hot meals brought to your door in bed. You liar!"
Can I
But
please have some chicken broth?
Sorry?
Please. Can I please have some chicken broth?
Yeah.
So what I was gonna say is, yeah, you mentioned how you survived COVID. Did you know that around 70 doctors have passed away in Serbia from COVID?
Yes, and I have no idea why that is.
But by the way, in Croatia, country next to ours, 1. In Slovenia, country next to Croatia, 0.
Yep.
Like, what?
I don't know. To be quite honest, this is what I have been thinking and saying from the beginning. I think that powers that be knew how problematic COVID is, and that is why there were so many curfews and lockdowns and travel restrictions early on, even before we knew just how dangerous it could be. And I think that part of this danger is how variable the symptoms and how should I say it?
I mean, like there's a huge variety of different reactions to the virus.
There's a huge variety of symptoms, of their severity, of their effects after you get well, and I feel like we have a different. We either have a different strain that they have in Croatia or Slovenia.
I doubt it. What's your blood type?
A plus. Mm-hmm. But I also think that people smoke in Serbia much more. But
yeah, but I've read that it's supposedly like less chance to get infected if you are, or less chance to have serious symptoms if you're a smoker. But yeah, let's just not go into it now. I mean, we've spoken about the pandemic too much.
Yeah.
And I'd like to. Well, we can't be like, it's not there, but we shouldn't, I think, give it that much room anymore. It's a thing now, and we should get used. By the way, let me just address this. Like, if you are looking at behind me anything, and you will see that it's a mess. We are potty training the younger daughter, so everything's a mess right now. We're, the wife is like jumping across the apartment to like grab her before she poops or pisses on the carpet. Not always successful, but it is what it is. So yeah, that's why you might be looking at like a serious mess, but lights are off for a reason. Yeah, so you had a good Christmas Eve, but what about Christmas? Did you go to where did you go for service?
Well, that's yeah, but I went to that cemetery chapel, and that's where we had the feast.
But you said Christmas Eve.
No, I said Christmas Eve, and then I transitioned into Christmas. I said that I said that
there was no transition. Yeah, I get it now.
I told you that I didn't go for any Christmas service on Christmas Eve because of work.
Yeah, that's okay. But I just like in my mind, the way you told the story, it was like you went to Saint Sava temple, and then you were like, we can't go for mulled wine, so let's go to the banquet in the church. That's how it.
No,
fine.
I said that we couldn't go because cafes are closed and we don't want to expose ourselves to crowds of people for candle lighting. But I do understand how you could have. Okay, guys, this reminded me. I want to tell you what a great communication Em and I had, and what a good my pal he is. No, seriously.
Oh God, yeah.
Or do you want to say it?
No, I mean, look.
This is the story of how different brains are wired, and story of a true friendship. So, in
you know what, the episode that we're gonna mention right now got very little views in comparison to others.
Yeah,
I think because we published our first Council of Saints episode, which seems to have gotten great feedback. So I think it's kind of we kind of left it in its shadow. But yeah, that's the episode that we're going to mention now. There was an earthquake in the middle of the episode.
Yeah.
And you didn't see it.
Yeah. So, okay, how this whole thing went. We recorded the previous Church Mouse episode, Church Mouse Chronicles episode, so not the Council of Saints. And there was an earthquake in the middle of the episode. And I thought that it was an amazing moment captured in time by our recording. And I think I have played that part on my computer for like 10 times, and I was like, okay, this isn't... it was pretty weak here, the earthquake, but you could feel it, and maybe if you pay attention, you could see that lamp, that black lamp behind it sort of shaking. But if you were in my shoes, you would feel it pretty much well.
It just lasted for... It just lasted.
Yeah, for a minute maybe, which is considerably long for an earthquake, I think. Maybe even longer. So
yeah, by the way, just FYI, the epicenter was actually in Croatia, and there it was complete devastation. They had in a matter of 30 days, they had over 57 shakes.
Yeah.
And I think it's still shaking there.
I think that maybe as late as yesterday, some people have actually died. I think that even a volunteer has died by not due to an earthquake, but he fell off a roof.
Yeah, so do pray for Croatia. They've been through like a really a rough patch. Doesn't even cut it. People have died. People have lost homes. There's like 2 places that are really devastated. So let's hope things work out and they manage to rebuild and renew and whatnot.
Yeah. So we finished recording the episode, and I have an amazing idea. So I tell Em, we need this to have a separate clip of this, and I can immediately feel that he's not really into that idea. And he was like, "But why?" And I'm like, "Well, so people could see that moment. It's so amazing." Yeah, but
you didn't.
No.
It as a separate clip, but the real translation would be a cutoff.
And a cutout. But it works with separate clip. You know, it can work with separate clip. And he's really not into that idea. And I'm like, but why not? We upload the episode, and after a week or 2, we upload that cutout video from the episode because it's good. And so he's really not into it, and I'm like, we should definitely do it, like the best of Church Mouse Chronicles. Like, what are the odds of this happening? And we are having that exchange. And at one point he asked, but wait, should I leave that original part in the longer episode that we are about to publish? And I say, yeah. So after discussing it for a long time, he uploads the episode, and I'm like watching the episode, and I'm like, here it comes, here it comes. And there's the animation, and the whole earthquake part was removed, and we simply start talking about the earthquake, and I'm like, and I'm like, I'm going to kill you. What did you do? And he said, you told me to do it. No, I did not tell you to do it. You told me to cut it out of the episode. And no, I did not. I did not put it. I did not tell you to do that. I told you to upload it as well. And then we are like, again, having a... So how are brains wired? And I was immediately reminded of that sort of famous joke when a wife sends her her IT guy husband to the store, and she says, buy butter, and if they have eggs, buy 6. So he returns with 6 packs of butter and says they had eggs.
Yeah, I'm an engineer, and
yeah.
And look. I need to. I actually have a screenshot, of a part of that conversation, where you're like, and make sure to put the cutout. I'm calling it like that intentionally.
Yeah.
After a couple of days, and I mention you, well, I thought to leave it in the episode, and then you keep sending, like, you need to do this, and then after a couple of days we upload the part, and it seemed like you weren't responding to me saying I wanted to leave it in the episode. It seemed like you were just continuing to write, and eventually I was like, okay, what can I do? He insists, so I'll just do it.
Okay, you conveniently forgot to mention that screenshot that I have sent to you, where you said, but do you want me to keep it in the original episode? And they say, yes. And
yeah, but that's what I'm telling you. It's
there was total miscommunication, and everything ends, and I fall into my sick bed with stress. Like, we had the perfect shot and we butchered it, and as I'm laying there like devastated, it occurs to me, he went ahead and he did that even though he was completely against it. And I would be completely against it if I understood what he understood, but he still did it. And I was like, guys, this is humility. This is true humility.
but before you went into that mode, you were sending me pictures.
Yeah. This is actually me fainting with disappointment.
Look, guys, he didn't send an emoji. He didn't send a Giphy or Jiffy.
Giphy. Yeah. A Jiffy.
He recorded. He took a photo of himself reacting. That's how
bad it was.
Yeah. But yeah. I mean, it's really. It was just like one of those moments, and I'm actually glad now that it's kind of because it was just more content for us. So yeah. But 13 days delay, and you know what? I still haven't published that part because I don't really know. Like, maybe we should publish it. Should we have like a TikTok or something and publish it as a short video? I don't know. I don't use TikTok.
Well, I have a TikTok, so maybe you can send it to me and I can publish it on my TikTok and publish it on YouTube and underline, bold, italic, and on YouTube. Italic, underline, bold. Are we understood?
Yeah, but that's very bad. When you're emphasizing and then re-emphasizing and then re-emphasizing, it could be interpreted as that's he's like he's
It's
like
sarcasm. What?
yeah, he's like being super sarcastic and then overly super sarcastic. So there's no way I'm gonna do this.
I'm not your wife or anybody's wife of the type that gets into an argument with you because you did not read my mind. So I we need to go to podcast host counseling.
I'll give my wife your regards and ask her to send you some feedback on what you just said. But
Uh,
um, I actually wanted to suggest playing a game.
sure.
You up for it?
Of course, I'm always for a game, and we always sort of regret playing games during a podcast, but why not?
We could leave it for another
No, no,
pod
no,
slash
no, no, no. Let's do
episode.
it. Let's do it. Let's do it.
By the way, guys, this is our first episode in 2021.
Oh
So
yeah, right.
happy 2021.
And boy, was it uneventful so far.
No, let me tell you that. So I just want to like reflect on how things just work out, So if
Yes.
you remember throughout the ordeal that we went with my dad last year with the hospitalization and whatnot when he had COVID and all that. So I had a friend. I have a friend who has been a true angel for me during the entire thing. Like she was really, really there for me. We actually met in the church choir, and she is a bit older than me. I mentioned her already, and I simply adore her and her husband. I just adore them, and they're like me. I can tell, but she has really been with me through the entire thing, and she has helped me so much. Like there is absolutely no way I could ever repay her. But then, God opens up a way, and her mom was actually sick as well. She was also COVID positive, which has prevented her from getting her to a hospital for another issue earlier. And unfortunately, she needed to have her leg amputated, like very, very urgently. For in the moment when she was finally able to get her for that, take her for that examination.
Mm-hmm.
So first things first, she needed somebody to donate blood before the surgery. So, because this is how it works in Serbia. There's not enough blood, not enough, donors,
Mm-hmm.
and slash or maybe somebody's misusing and reselling it. Like everything's possible in a corrupt society.
Yeah.
So when somebody's about to have a surgery, they basically kind of give you an ultimatum, even though this is not written down. This is not something you can like chase them on court. You Americans who sue everybody for everything. Like this is you can't do a thing. So they basically kind of blackmail you into providing two donors of blood before they do surgery, and that's how I think our blood banks are getting filled. So she needed urgently people to donate blood, and it's the middle of the working hours. It's the Christmas, the day of the Christmas Eve, so day before Christmas. Like it's very, very hard to do it, and she's like she wrote on a group that I have, and I was like, I literally kind of took a bit of time off that morning. Like I was like, let me work with my thoughts, blah blah blah, organize things. So I just didn't have anything to do. And I was like, okay, I'll go. And so she and I, we go and donate blood. Turns out her mom is O positive, she is O positive, and I am O positive. So it was like a perfect match.
Aww.
And we give blood and whatnot, and they promise she's gonna go to surgery. They take her to surgery finally somewhere during Christmas Eve, like, during the night. And on Christmas, like, there's no way to find out what happened. Like, is she alive? Is she well? Did they even operate? Like, there is nothing you can do. And my friend, she was on the phone trying to get this clinic practically the entire Christmas day. So you can imagine she was at the service at 5 a.m. at 5 a.m. as well. She went home, and from that moment on, so basically from around maybe 6:37 a.m. to at that point it was 6 p.m. when I spoke with her. She wasn't able to get any information. Like, she was devastated. Like, and it's Christmas, man. Like, it's crazy. She's like in tears. And I'm like, why wouldn't I try? Like something's telling me, okay, I mean, she's doing it all day, but why wouldn't I try? It's 2 minutes for me. And I like take the phone, and I don't call the clinic directly. I call like the central phone, and I'm like, I need this and that information. And they forward me to the clinic, but nobody picks up. So the call returns back to the central operator, and she's like, let me try to find somebody else for you. And she connects me with someone who works at that clinic, but doesn't really answer the phone. And I'm like, hey, please, this and that. And she's like, you know, her mom was operated on, and it was a success, and she's stable. For all other information, like, call tomorrow. And I'm like, wow, it was like immediately. And I call her, and she, like, you can imagine the reaction, right?
Yeah.
She was
Like,
like,
you basically, what amazing feeling it is to actually be the one to tell somebody that somebody they were worried about is alive.
God.
Like,
and all of that is literally after I thought there is no way I could ever repay her. So I'm like, what can I do? I don't even like, I was like, I'm gonna buy her something super expensive. I don't know. Like, I didn't know like how. And then, just a path opens up everywhere, left and right. It's just brilliant. It is brilliant. And you can't believe, like, she was that for me, the bearer of good news. She was able to give us news when we were unable to call. She found people to crazy. It's such a great little situation. But anyways, sorry, I just wanted to kind of update on that. So as I mentioned in I think our previous Chronicles episode, we have this wonderful thing in our a wonderful custom. We celebrate mothers and fathers and children a couple of weeks before Christmas. So I think the first one is kids, and then mothers, and then fathers. In any case, fathers are the last. So the custom is basically for kids to tie their parents, and then parents give them some gifts. It's a season of giving, and et cetera, and then they get untied. So this year we kind of decided to make things for children with our own hands, and we help them create some bookmarkers for us. And what did Angela do for the kids? I don't remember. She's gonna kill me.
Classic hobby.
For me, she made me a pajama, which is like the best pajama I have now at this point. Like,
because it has to be the best one.
No, it's really so good. I can literally go outside with it. That's how good it is. Like, trust me. I don't remember what she did for the kids. Let me see if she's awake.
Honey.
Šta si za decu pravila sad za materice? Okay. Yeah, she made them like custom chocolate. So they're all awake, like they're in the next room, and like they're watching TV, and it's 10:15. So like it's gonna be a no sleep. So anyways, what I built, and Angela helped me, was story dice. Story dice.
Story dice.
So it's basically like dice that you throw and you create the story from whatever little pictures you get. Story cubes is, I think, the original name, but to me, it's like I like to say dice because I'm used to it. So, would you like to tell a story, B?
Sure, let's do it.
I suggest doing it like this. I will throw them here randomly.
Okay.
And I'll just without looking, I'll draw one. When I say draw, it's not a card. I'll just pick one up and show it to you. And then based on that, you're gonna have to tell a story. And then I'm gonna take one for me and continue. There's 9 of them, so you're gonna have the first and the final. You ready?
Okay, so there are 9 dice in total.
Yeah, 9 cubes.
Okay.
You ready?
How long should my segment be?
Whatever you think. Like, a short story is, for example, I always get the magic wand for some reason. I think the die is loaded.
It's enchanted.
Yeah, and when I throw them, like, there's multiple ways to like play this game. So when I throw it and I see a magic wand, I usually start the story. I usually tell a short story, and I'm like, if I had a magic wand, something spaceship. But it doesn't have to be like. Let's try it out. You can do a short one, and then we'll figure it. Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, this is the first one. I think it's a TV, or it can be like an Apple MacBook,
okay.
Apple monitor, whatever. So yeah.
Okay. Susan was sitting in front of her computer. It was Saturday. Susan, yeah. Okay. Was sitting in front of her computer. It was Saturday, and it was a second Saturday in a month. She always dreaded that Saturday, and also the Saturday that will come in 2 weeks. For you see, there is a dark secret that nobody around Susan knew, and that is that on every second Saturday and every fourth Saturday of the month, she would get an unsolicited message from a random person on some of her social media, and this person, whoever he, she, or it may be, knew everything about her. He would usually start out with something nice. Hi Susan, how are you? I'm doing well. How are you doing? How's work? Did you resolve that argument with that coworker of yours? Does she know that you stole her coffee from the cupboard? And it would go on and on. The messages were getting progressively worse, and that random person would open with a long message. It would he or she would never reply at her questions, but the messages were getting ever so dark every other Saturday. Your turn.
Did you have to do it this long?
No. Perfect.
It was raining that day. The air had a very peculiar smell. Of course, it smelled of like wet, but it also carried with it a smell of an ominous scent that she couldn't really fully attribute to anything, rather than just being super crazy at that moment because of the thing that's happening with her social media. She is slowly but surely starting to dread ever opening up a Twitter account, not to mention Facebook account, because this random person who would message her, sometimes it will be a DM on Twitter, sometimes it would start on a public group on Facebook where somebody would just write something which nobody else could ever know. And then she just has to engage in a private conversation. Rain. Bad things always happen when it rains. Is that a sound of a thunder? The atmosphere just became more ominous for Susan. You know what? If it's raining and there's thunder and I live in a house, I need to turn off all my devices. Otherwise, I could just, the thunder might hit the house and there's going to be a surge. And she rushed to grab the cable and she pulled the cable very hard from the computer, but it didn't turn off. You ready?
Yes, I'm so ready.
I knew it. I always get it. Crazy. I mean, we're going Harry Potter right now. You know that, right?
Not necessarily. She gazed upon the glaring monitor that was supposed to be turned off. There was no way that it could remain on. There were no batteries. There were no accumulators. There were no, as far as she knew, electric generators on her household. What was keeping the computer alive? Then it hit her. The mysterious stranger must probably have messaged her again. So, she checked her Twitter DMs, there was nothing. But she wasn't so lucky on Facebook. She went to her inbox, in her message requests, and, as always, there was somebody, a newly made profile, somebody has sent her a message and then blocked her. She could read the message but not reply to it. She opened it. Unlike previous, more or less threatening messages that she had received, this one was an image. It was a symbol. It was a strange symbol she did not recognize. Susan wasn't a superstitious type, nor religious. She wasn't into fantasy, and there was no way that she could understand what the symbol meant. But when her eyes fell on it, she felt the hair on the back of her neck simply stand, and she could feel chills run down her spine. There was something exceedingly unwholesome about this symbol, but she knew not what.
That's the symbol, by the way.
And that symbol was the Twitter bird.
Okay.
Nice.
She quickly grabbed the camera to make a video of a computer that is turned off, but it's also turned on, and that is showing this awkward symbol. She turned on the camera and pointed it towards the computer. But she was in awe when she realized that while she was viewing on the viewing screen of the camera, that even though she's clearly seeing this on the monitor, the camera is not picking it up. Is this magic? She asked herself. I mean, it couldn't be, right? But then again, she points the camera into the monitor, and yet again, she doesn't see anything being shown. She takes her mobile phone, smartphone, whatever, opens up the camera app. Same thing. It's simply not there. Okay, something weird is happening. she finally, makes that conclusion. What am I to do? Let me try to reply to this message again. She sits down, looks at the message again. Well, let me try. She hits the reply button. And even though previously she couldn't do a thing because she was blocked by the user, suddenly she gets the text box that she's supposed to use to write the message. And she writes the following. The message is, I'm on vacation.
Who's there? I know that there's somebody behind this account. Please tell me just what you want. There was a gray check mark next to her message. Then there was a double check mark. She waited and waited. And as she was about to reach for her smartphone, the double check mark turned blue. Somebody began to type. There were no previous messages. There were no replies, and this is the first time she's going to get a reply from her stalker. And she gets a simple "hi" with an exclamation mark. It was a completely out of character experience from what she has seen up to, so far. She wouldn't have it. Who are you? Susan, it's me, Joanne. What, Joanne? Susan, there was a string of smileys she sent. Joanne from Santorini, do you remember? And yes, she did remember a Joanne from Santorini. But why was she, why was she messaging her? Oh, you silly goose, you fell for our prank. What prank? Don't you see? We were all into this. Your co-workers, your husband, me. We just wanted to get you spooked a little bit. You silly. She felt relieved. But then a huge doubt came over her heart. But wait, how did you manage to conceal that creepy symbol you have sent when I tried to take a photo of it with my smartphone? It's a simple QR code. It works in a similar way like that code, you know? Your phone detects it and it conceals it. So when you actually try to take a note of it with your smartphone, it remains concealed. And of course that you will get, terrified. Susan relaxed, but then she got a message. You fell for it again, didn't you, Susan? Jen doesn't remember you. It's me.
This is freaking scary, man. Why? You're taking dark turns every time.
How many dice? Do we still have?
4.
Okay. Okay.
Don't dark.
Actually, with the face you've made, I was expecting you got a skull or something.
She grabs the phone again, opens up the camera app. The monitor is still blank, and there's no emoji or code, QR code, lol, or anything that would corroborate the story that she was just being given. Also, since when do I have a husband? Maybe I'm going mad. Maybe I'm making this all up in my mind. Joanne from Santorini? I know a Joanne from Santorini, but we never spoke. after Santorini. Maybe something happened on Santorini that I'm not aware of. Maybe something like buried deep, deep, deep in my memory. What might it be? And why would this stalker mention Joanne? Yeah, he or whoever, they seem to know everything about me anyway, so it makes sense for them to know about Joanne as well. Okay, I'm starting to get a hang of this. And Susan sits down, takes a piece of paper, and starts writing down start trying to remember every single message that she's being sent on these special Saturdays. After she was done, finalizing with the message. Sorry. Anietu. Doneć. I need to go get the potty.
Okay. This is emergency, guys. What will happen to Susan next? Is Joanne a fragment of her decaying imagination? Is she a being from the other world or something more sinister? Find out in the next episode of Story Dice. Story Dice. It seems like M is in his episode of Story Dice as well. Well. You had had ample time to think of your story part.
I didn't. I was not happy with the interruption.
Don't worry. I concealed it pretty nicely.
You did?
Yeah.
Did you continue the story or did you?
No. You'll see it.
I mean, I'll cut the part out anyways.
No, you won't. Just censor yourself.
But anyways, after she was done writing down all the things that this person knew about her, she started to realize that there is a pattern. These are all things that she doesn't really want to remember. These are all the things that she doesn't really want people to know. These are the things she never told anyone. And these are the things that only she could ever know. Who is this person? Do they have powers? How are they able to control my computer, which is not even plugged in? This was the last piece of the puzzle. Am I really going mad? Am I really, really going mad?
A question.
Mm-hmm.
What does any of this have to do with a rabbit?
Oh yeah, it was a rabbit.
You simply went with your story.
I'm getting there. Okay, I'm getting there. Sorry.
Feel free to continue. Feel free to continue.
No, I was interrupted. I was interrupted.
Yeah. Yes, you were.
I was going somewhere. So going back to the previous element.
To the previous bunny.
God, he even knew the story about the bunny. Story which she never told anyone. It has been years since she stopped dreaming about the bunny. And she was happy about it. Do you hear the kids crying in the back?
Barely in the background, but they do not.
Okay. The story about the bunny. Yeah. Before that, the bunny was haunting her dreams every single night. She would wake up in sweat and short of breath. And it was a recurring dream. She always dreamt of the bad things that happened. And the bunny would just look into her eyes and be like, why? This happened to me. You were there. Why did you let it happen?
Okay.
Why? Why? Why?
Okay.
Why did you let this happen to me?
Okay. There was one thing that Susan prided herself about. She was very open. Of course, she had her little secrets. None of these were criminal. Some were shameful, but then again, who does not have a couple of shameful secrets? Who of us does not have that, oh my God, why moment when they're trying to fall asleep in their bed? Susan, for the most part, had restful and good night's sleep, bar the nightmares. Those terrible, terrible, recurring nightmares she had of the rabbit. And that was those were horrible memories. And she knew exactly what had triggered those nightmares. She tried and tried with her therapist's help to repress those memories, and it seems that it had worked. It was something that occurred 10 years ago. It was a dark night and rather overcast. She could barely see. She was driving her moped on a mountain range. She was due to appear at her sister's cottage, where they were going for a bit of a retreat. Her and her sister's husband. You don't like where this is going?
Shame.
Shame. There was nothing shameful to happen there. Only a night of scary stories and a couple of board games, maybe a show or two. Something good on Netflix or whatever. However, the plan was that she was to go there by foot because she knew the road well. She decided to take the moped, even though her mother told her not to drive it, because she was in a couple of minor accidents with it already. She did not listen. And to this day, she wished that she had. Is it the wand? No. Okay.
She could have saved that bunny. She thought to herself, I could have saved him. I mean, I've heard of aliens abducting people, and mind you, I've always thought they were crazy. But why would aliens abduct a bunny? That it just haunts me. Why would they abduct a bunny? And truth is, she saw it with her own eyes. As they were driving down the mountain road, they hit a rock. They both fell. Her sister's husband hit his head on a tree and passed
away.
Shut up! I'll tell you the story. And he lost consciousness. but she saw everything. She saw the blinding light. She saw the bunny as it was levitating, gaping hole of the flosser that took it. And from that day, she can never ever forget about that bunny. What did they do to him? Oh my God, aliens exist, and they're abducting bunnies. that was a thing to deal with. And this stalker of hers, they know that as well. So the only logical conclusion is she must be dealing with an extraterrestrial being. Otherwise, it's a perfect explanation for everything that has been happening to her. But what are they doing? Are they grooming me? Are they getting me? Are they preparing me for an abduction? What's going to happen now? The rain has stopped as she was writing down everything that they've communicated to her over the years on Saturdays. And for some reason, it was extremely, extremely silent outside. She wouldn't dare look through the window because the silence was even more ominous than the thunder. She moved away from the writing desk, and then this happened. We have one more, so wrap it up.
Okay.
I love this. And then, the alarm clock went bzzz, and she woke up. Yeah.
Okay. She pushed away her chair from her writing desk. And then an overwhelming sense of doom came over Susan. She knew that her days are numbered and that she is counting her minutes until her very last end. She looked around. The silence was completely dead and overpowering. What are you going to do in your last minute? What would you do if you knew you only had 3 minutes to live? She felt trapped. All the things she wanted to do, all the things she hoped for, she had no idea. Everything felt like a missed opportunity. There wasn't a time to actually act upon anything, and all of her dreams and hopes seemed unimportant. She felt naked and she felt watched. She felt like an animal in a cage, exposed to everyone's view and judgmental and mocking eye. And just as she thought about it, she got a message in her inbox. She leaned forward, shaking, and she read, "Now you feel like an animal in a cage." And then she remembered the symbol, that symbol that she got initially. It wasn't a big symbol. It wasn't an important symbol. It was no arcane symbol at all. But it was something that chilled her to the bone, mundane as it was. It was a logo of the pet shop where she got her pet bunny rabbit. I mean, we could work on it a little more.
The story was dreadful the entire time.
You know,
you have to follow. You have to follow the cubes. So it's you know.
Okay, I'll admit the alien element sort of let it slide a little bit, but then I think it was an okay story for something.
Look, I could have slipped away from it, you know, but it's if the cubes described like how the story should evolve, you can't just say, you know, she felt like she was being adopted by aliens, and then you continue talking about something else. You know, you can't really just easily slip past it. You know, you have to, you know. But yeah, let's say it was an interesting experiment. I hope people didn't get bored.
No, actually, do you know? Okay. The thing that I find horrific about horror stories is that there's a narrative behind it. You know, it's not being generated as we go along. You know.
Yeah, actually, that's what I wanted to tell you. I'm not a fan of horror, and the second you started, I was like, damn it.
Why did I start?
There's no way I can participate well in this one, like, because exactly what you said, horror stories always have like a serious background.
Yeah.
Like, well, good ones.
Yeah.
Not you know, the movie Crucifixion.
But you know, even the Crucifixion has some backdrop to it, you know, and when you're actually thinking it up on the spot, okay, you can remember what you can sort of think up of something scary. But for me, what kills the scariness is the fact that it's not an element that was there at the beginning, you know. For example,
I know, but then you get a bunny, which is fine. You can use that in a horror story, but you get a motorcycle, like,
yeah.
And then the next one is like a flying saucer.
Well, okay. I wanted for the story to go through the supernatural route because those are my favorite horror stories.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, this works perfectly fine with the aliens. And how? Okay. How would you see this story? Like you read this story, how would you interpret it?
No, if we like saw it all together,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's like a mediocre short story, maybe, about this very troubled a person who
lost her bunny rabbit,
who witnessed a bunny rabbit being abducted by aliens, and that destroyed her for life because she kept imagining that she's being contacted by random people who know everything about her, and it turns out that it was all along, it was a bunny rabbit she bought and destroyed his life by keeping him like in a very small cage and, you know, mistreating the poor animal, which for some reason gained supernatural powers, which would be great if we had a way to connect that with something that happened so that it makes sense on how the rabbit got these powers. But
well, I interpret the story that the rabbit was actually kidnapped by aliens in reality, and now the rabbit is somehow taking vengeance upon her. As in that the aliens have completely seriously approached this new being, like they completely ignored the humans, but they have completely seriously approached the rabbit, which they have, kidnapped. And now the rabbit is simply taking it out on her, you know. I mean, by the way, I need to recommend this channel, even though it's a small channel. I need to check how many subscriber it has.
We are a small channel, so there's no shame.
Okay, it's called Black Dog Chronicles.
Oh, now, wow, it's called Chronicles. Wow.
Yeah. and it's an animal.
Oh, and they have more subscribers than we do. So.
Yeah, but look, they have what 77 videos on.
Mm-hmm.
And I have this guy Hugh Carr. I have him on Facebook, and his narration is amazing. I found it criminal that he had as few subscribers as he had. I mean, I do not understand why this is. And I actually suggested to him that we make a collab video on Bible Illustrated, where I write a parody of a Lovecraftian story. Then I send it to him, and because he's more well-read and, an intellectual and so on, unlike me, that he edits it as well. He reads it.
Does he speak with a British accent?
Yeah, but what voice it is, and the way he acts. Yeah, play him. Maybe
copy strikes and all that.
No. No. We won't get a copy strike unless he initiates it. And here we're recommending his channel. Just put a snippet from a story at the end. But he has a terrific voice, and not only that.
Warning. Caution is advised before listening to this story.
I love it.
The Kent police officer who related to me his involvement in the case has claimed that some of the events described within the following account are considered hazardous. He further...
Man, it reminds me of something. Oh my God. You must know this. It's a story about Martians invading. It's a musical about Martians invading Earth.
Okay.
The
Spirit of Man. Is that their story? Is that story from there? It's a wonderful song.
No, that's really not that. This is, I think, the War of the Worlds. Yes, War of the Worlds.
Yeah. I thought it was the War of the Worlds.
Yes.
And there's
reminded me of that voice.
Yeah.
It's a very good narrating voice. Very good narrating voice. The chances of anything coming from Mars are 1,000,000 to 1, he says. You know that part?
No, I only know the song "Spirit of Man," which is wonderful.
But you have to listen to the entire thing. It's brilliant.
Yeah,
it's brilliant. Like the music is brilliant. I'm gonna listen to it today.
And thank you for the recommendation, guys. But please subscribe to Hugh Carr's channel. So it's Black Dog Chronicles. Hopefully, I will have him featured on my channel, and I wish I could help him with his, but I don't think I have actually.
We're safe from them Martians. We got COVID-19 now.
Yeah. Sadly, I don't think I can help him on his channel per se. I mean, I suppose I could illustrate some stuff, but my style clashes heavily with happy watercolors, Christian, and so on. With his generally very somber storytelling. He doesn't have only horror stories. He has positive stories, traditional stories, happy stories, but most are horror. And what I wanted to say, he's great at voice acting. Like, I especially like how he does women. I mean, it's simply amazing. So, I would love if we would actually make a collab. I think that for me, his channel is sort of a constant reminder that quality does not really sell on YouTube. I mean, sometimes it does, but mostly the important thing on YouTube is that it is attention grabbing, nothing else. Whether it's quality attention grabbing or inane attention grabbing, it's irrelevant. But that's the primary.
I mean, and the title is everything. It has to be clickbait. And we actually launched that show here locally, and we had your friend interviewed on that show. It like the people whom we spoke to on that show, like the things they've said, it's like they are quality plus plus.
Yeah.
There's no audience for that.
Yeah.
There's no audience for that, and that's true. And if you ask me, like when I tell people, like, I also kind of do YouTube from time to time, but it's a niche within a niche kind of situation, I think,
Yeah.
with church mouse. But anyways, it is what it is. I think we are close to hitting 1,000 subs,
Yeah.
which is honestly more than I expected for this channel. This channel was it just. But yeah, before we go, and also, guys, sorry if we bored you with the story. It was an experiment. We might do
No,
something.
actually, I liked it a lot. Okay,
Yeah,
maybe
I mean,
the audience is bored, but I thought it
yeah,
was extremely fun.
I was okay. There was a Darren O'Mara who wrote a reply on our last episode,
Mm-hmm.
because our episode was named something down the lines of what are we thankful for in 2020.
Mm-hmm.
And they say this: I'm thankful for absolutely nothing. Life has been absolutely cruel, for the cruelest it could be. In fact, I have nothing good to say about this world, except I wish it would beep, blow up.
Okay.
And our comment was, hey, Darren, anything we can do to help, mate? And the answer was, kill me.
Okay.
And then our answer is, too easy, pick another card. So Darren, if by any chance you didn't close YouTube mid story that B and I made, let's talk about things.
Yeah.
If there's really anything that we can do to help, um, we will.
Drop us a line.
Yeah, don't ask for money, but drop us a line. Send us voicemail. You can do that over on our website, actually, believe it or not. Let's see what happened and how we may be of assistance.
Yeah.
If you were joking, then just say it so that we know, so that we don't worry, because
Yeah.
it kind of sucks. Yeah.
True.
Yeah, but my daughter loves these. I'm trying to get her to tell stories. That's my next step. She loves it when I do it.
Mm-hmm.
And today was the first day after me, giving her the gift, when she asked for it specifically. I want you to tell me a story with the cubes. But anyway, she memorizes story, and she can actually tell you a story. She's heard multiple times. She can literally tell you the entire story end to end, and she will use voices.
Oh wow, nice.
Crazy. She's like, Goldilocks, or they created the Disney made a movie called Tangled. Yeah. So, and she's like, she's talking about how a young prince is, talking to Goldilocks.
No, Rapunzel.
Yeah, Rapunzel. Yeah. Sorry.
It's the same name in Serbian, so I get them mixed up all the time.
And she's like, she's this is how she tells the tale. I'll say it in Serbian.
Okay.
I'll translate it. It's fine. She's down the lines of, and then the young prince would quietly call upon Rapunzel, and she does this: Rapunzel, Rapunzel, bring down your hair so I can climb up. And she's like, and she does all those effects, and it's really, and she's listening to that guy whom I think we all listened to when we were kids, Zika Sokolo.
Yeah, I know.
And she mimics, and she even calls things. We Rapunzel. We say in Serbian, we say Zlatokosa, but in Bosnian, the way you would pronounce it is Zlatokosa.
Uh-huh.
And that's how she pronounces it.
Ah.
And she doesn't say the translation for witch is veštica, and she doesn't say veštica, she says vještica,
Ještica.
which is and that's how she says it's really super fun. So I'm hoping, like I'm very hopeful that like she's gonna be into this and like form stories by using the cubes.
By the way, if you want additional activities, maybe you can make like themed dice.
Yeah, that's it's actually I already have them printed. It's like it's a really very very hard work to get them to pull them together. Trust me, it's
Oh yeah, I can imagine.
like,
But thank you for giving me
Mhm.
thank you for giving me an idea, because I want to make them for my nieces when they're tad older, because the older one.
Do it. And I have many more like ideas on what to do, like create different like types of dice. So that, you roll to get what the setting is, you roll how the weather is, blah, blah, blah. And then you combine the story. Like I have a lot of ideas. I might even, make something out of it in the future, like a game for people to download or play or something like that.
We were shocked with our niece, because she's like a year and a half, and when my mom and dad, or her grandpa and granny, went there to babysit, she actually started imitating how they walk. So with mom, she was like this, while with dad, she was like, she nailed them. I can't even begin to tell you. It was the exact same. And we were like, wow, she's going to be an actress.
The thing is, kids, they mimic and copy like 100%, because this is how they learn, right?
Yeah.
Whatever you expose them to, this is like I know that like Yulia will come from daycare and she will recite something to us. I'm telling you, she remembers things. She will not only recite, she will recite it in the exact same way she heard it. I know this because there was at some point last year some of the kids were finishing daycare, and their next step was school. And the daycare, they kind of made this they had this idea, so they taught kids this like song, and then we were supposed to like record them, and it was mid isolation period. Nobody was going because of the pandemic, and we would record them, and then they would merge it all together into something for these kids and parents. And I remember we used to like play it to Yulia, because other kids were a bit faster, older kids specifically, and she would copy and paste the hand movement, the tone, like 100%.
Wow.
Like ridiculous. So I'm telling you, that's how they learn. And the first people they copy is their parents, and then grandparents as well. So that actually makes a lot of sense to me. You'll be surprised the first time you swear in front of them. They will repeat it, like, because it's new. There was a reaction to it from people around you, and like immediately their brain is like wired to like this makes a reaction. So you said the F word, they say the F word, and they will use it in the most inconvenient situation you can ever imagine.
Well, it's simply the way of things. I mean, it hasn't happened so far, but then again, I'm simply not a guy who curses and swears. But the Murphy law. If it happens, sorry?
You are not?
When I'm not paying attention to bishops and politicians, I'm not.
Ah, yes. Very, very good.
But Murphy's law dictates that that one time I do swear, it will be in front of the kids, and that they will remember it, and they will know whom to point, who taught them that.
100%. I had a period of around 5 years where I didn't utter a single swear word.
Wow, nice.
Right? Literally a single one. I completely threw away those words and would like cringe or just feel very bad when other people would use them. But then, as you change your setting, as you change the people whom you communicate with on a daily basis, it becomes much harder not to use swear words, for stupid situations, and especially in Serbia. Like in Serbia, people swear a lot. A
Yeah,
lot.
I wanted to say you went on Twitter or turned on your TV.
No, it's like you remember that guy when we used to play Among Us,
Oh no, yeah,
and that's the kind of thing, when imagine being like surrounded by people who speak like him. He's
yeah,
he's an extreme, but he's an extreme because he's like, I will do it for the glory,
yeah, yeah.
for the win. Um,
True.
well, I appreciate this episode, the first one in 2021, and I wish upon us many, many more in this and the years to come. And also, thank you everybody who watched our first Council of Saints video. We intend to make more.
Do you want to tell them who our next saint is?
I
Okay,
don't. I don't.
okay,
They'll know when we make the episode. Which
true. Okay,
these things don't go that fast because you have to do a bit of research. You have to write the script. To
because you
be,
have to work with Boyan.
I was gonna dance around that, but it is.
You know that you can tell me anything because I'll totally ignore it.
Yeah. But I don't wanna like shame you in front of
Oh,
your
honey,
audience.
I'm shameless. Just kidding.
No, that should have been done in a different voice. But Ursula from
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
that would have been perfect.
I can sort of laugh like her, but I can do some voices, but not hers. Her laugh, okay, but the voice, no.
Yeah.
Hugh Carr, on the other hand,
Who?
that guy from Black Dog Chronicles, the other Chronicles.
Yes, yes, yes. The story. Now, yeah. So we didn't even know how the video is going to be done. It's actually it just happened like that.
Yeah.
The format, everything. It just happened. And we kind of rushed because the day when we published it was actually the day when the saints that we were talking about
Yeah, yeah.
were celebrated by the church. So it had some special meaning for us. And we spoke about Saint Pisces and Deacon Habakkuk, and believe it or not, Deacon Habakkuk is also the name and patron saint of like the male part of the church and of my church. Like the community, the men community.
And what's the female community called?
Well, you know how we have it, like uh, bratstvo,
Yeah,
and
fraternity.
fraternity, and kolo srpskih sestara,
Yeah, the
which is
sisterhood
this.
of. Yeah, okay, it's problematic.
It is. So it's bratstvo pri hramu Svetog Preoženja Sveti Đakon Avakum, or how we call it Avakumci. And then on the other end, you have Kola Srpskih sestara, Mati Angelina Srpska.
Yeah, okay.
So yeah, I hope we'll do a video on her as well.
Oh yeah, and definitely soon. Just to make a bit of reference for your guys.
Yeah, and the thing is, there's a lack of this content even in Serbia.
Yeah.
So, and it's quite the honor that we have to be able to present this to English speaking population in the world, even as small and as great as this one
Yeah.
sub to our channel is. So yeah, thank you very much for the feedback, and really we wish you happy, 2021, and we wish upon all of us to finally deal with this pandemic, and hopefully United States will become a bit more stable.
Yeah.
As well as the dollar. So yeah, happy. Less storming of the Congress, Parliament. What was it?
Capital. I think it's the Senate.
Yeah, less printing of the dollar.
Well, should not have tied that money to the dollar, right?
I didn't tie anything to the dollar, but our business.
Why did I put my trust in riches where thieves steal and moth eats? And the rats know.
If you wanted the investment advice, buy Bitcoin.
I know.
You know what the problem with these things is?
What?
If you to actually do this, you have to have surplus. Because if you don't have surplus, what are you gonna do? Like buy $100 worth of Bitcoin? Do what?
And starve.
The only economy and capitalism.
I know.
Have a good one, B. Send me the recording.
I will, Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.